What's going on, guys? Welcome to GIMP podcast episode number 3 with your host Christian Lee, and our special guest this week is Mitch Wyndy, or Windy as our guests may know him. He's an avid watcher of the GIMP podcast. I believe you've watched the first 2 episodes. Is that correct, Windy?
Yeah, I've watched the first 2.
He's watched the first 2, which thank you for that. And as always, we like to kickstart with what's been happening since high school.
Just wait. Who was a better guest, Hughesy or Ando?
Oh well,
Tough question off the bat.
Well, I think Hughesy's
Hughesy
podcast had a lot, I guess, of stuff was easy for me to relate to. I mean, I know Ando's really into the conspiracy theories and all, and the whole pizza game. And I was just listening and thinking, yeah, I kind of understand this, but not really something I generally listen to. So I'd probably have to say Hughesy.
Yeah, bloody Hughesy. Alright. So what have you been up to?
Since the high school. Since we left off. With year 12.
Yeah, so obviously at Little High School, I was part of the world famous ALP as it's known. So
weird.
Just straight away throws him under the bus.
Yeah. So obviously, yeah. So through there, once it came to the end of year 12, I was all done, all finished. Barely 17 years old. Not really sure what I wanted to do. So I found a course down at Chadstone that really interested me. It was called a Bachelor of Sports Media, and I thought, geez, this sounds really good. So I went down there, signed up for it, was all ready to go beginning of 2014, and then decided I might just hold off, take a year off, gap year, just wait till I'm sort of more ready to take on, demands of uni and that, because it's a bit more to that than high school. High school you can kind of just take it pretty casually a bit, but I didn't want to do that with uni, so wait until beginning 2015 to get that going, and it was probably one of the best decisions I made. So through to end of this year, 2017, I just finished about a month ago. So yeah, ready to go out and conquer the sport media industry.
Lovely, man, lovely. As long as you don't do a Bruce McAvaney, then happy days. Don't get too attached to cereal, please. Just whatever you do, just stay away from Hawthorn.
Yeah, we don't need another Bruce in our lives.
Or a Basil.
We've already got James.
You take 100 Bruces over one Basil.
Yeah, but that's a fair goal. That is a very fair goal.
Bruce at least gets most of the things right, whereas Basil can get it blatantly wrong.
Yeah. Oh God.
Speaking of, actually, what should we start with? Cricket or football?
Oh, it is summer after all. I mean, it's.
Have you been watching the Big Bash?
Absolutely, yeah. Big Bash. It's really great around this time of year. You got cricket on every night basically for nearly 2 months or a bit more, and they've actually had more games this year. They've gone up from 8 to 10 per team. So really enjoying it. The first 2 matches last 2 days. My team's playing tonight, the Renegades down in Hobart.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
jeez.
Yeah, hopefully they go well. Obviously last time they played Hurricanes, they made a record score and lost, so hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Was that the 57 that they got last time?
Oh, it was something. It was like 230 odd or something.
Jeez.
But it doesn't matter what it was, because it wasn't enough in the end.
Yeah, no, not wrong. The best part, in my opinion, of the Big Bash, I'm not sure about the ads. I'm not sure about you, but God, I like the ads. The ads
for the actual Big Bash.
No, I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here.
Oh, please don't talk to me about that show.
2 nights into it already.
That show.
Expect another 45.
That show owes its entire existence to the Big Bash League, because it's the only thing that people watch on Channel 10 these days.
I myself, I'm more like, I don't mind the Big Bash. Stars are supporting myself. So, but I'm not sure. I actually quite enjoy a test match over Big Bash. I don't know why, but I just do. I don't know.
I can't.
You can't relate? No? I don't know. I just love watching.
I just prefer, mainly because with Big Bash, it's just so casual. Because you can just sit down and
and it's just like
yesterday, for example, I just needed to kill 30 minutes while something downloaded, and it's just like, Big Bash is on.
You can pick a team, watch a game. A Big Bash game will generally go the same as a footy or a soccer match.
Yeah.
It's not taking up too much of your time. It's pretty simple to follow. Whereas I guess sometimes the whole tests and international tours and all that kind of thing can be a bit can drag on a little bit for sort of the casual fan, but it's different strokes,
like
really.
Pick up and play Big Bash almost.
Yeah, it's just like yesterday though. Like the first over I started watching. I think it was like Scott Boland to like Brendan McCullum.
Yeah.
And he got freaking thumped for like 24.
Oh, he was just bowling filth.
Yeah.
Absolute filth, and he was
And,
getting
like,
the treatment deserved.
That's just so much better to watch when you just want to chill rather than watching a test match where it's just like Steve Smith, one run off it over, time 100.
Have either of you actually been to a game?
Yeah,
A Big
I
Bash? Yeah.
Oh,
So
sorry, for Big Bash or Test?
yeah, Big Bash game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like even for the people in the crowd,
pretty boring, actually.
it's
I don't know, it's weird.
Oh, the best part about it in the crowd.
Trying to build that atmosphere about
It's
it.
boring in a game, but it's okay to watch on TV. It's kind of like the opposite of most sports.
It's
like soccer's so boring to watch on TV. But
soccer atmosphere is cool. I agree. Yeah, I know. The best part about cricket, which I'm sure if Siegs, if you listen to this, would definitely have to be the music at the Big Bash. Nice little inside joke there for Siegs if you're watching this. But no, Big Bash, like I don't know, like I've been a few times. It's pretty good when they're close games. That's good. Like I don't know what year it was, but I still remember going to. That one where Shane Warne was at the Stars, and that the dark. I don't want racist, but
Marlon Samuels.
Yeah,
I was at that game.
The shit with him, and
I was at that game, and he
threw
the bat down the pitch.
God, that was great.
Yeah, I was at the game.
There's been some good Big Bash, mate. What is it like? It's their seventh
season.
So they're going strong, which is good. Just need more people. I reckon if we could get like an Adam Gilchrist or like a Ponting into the Big Bash squad, that would be huge. That'd be so big. Like just someone like that.
Those freaking ads though. It's
the
just
ads.
You know, on like ESPN when you watch NBA. It's
the exact same if you go to Channel 7 and then it's like the chef show or whatever it is with Manu, and then it's always like, what's happening this week? Drama.
They set up their villain for you to get ready to hate for the next 4 months.
Yeah, I know. And you just as soon as that show starts, you're just like, I already hate this person because of the ads.
Yeah, it's like that with the test matches on Channel 9. They've already started that with Married at First Sight. So the ads during this, they've already revealed their big bad for this year. Their villain, the one you're meant to hate, and the one
can't go too far off topic. Because that's a bad topic. Only because it makes you...
Yeah, we're very pressed for time here, aren't we?
Oh, not necessarily that. It's like, when I think about those shows, it's like, you see Lee's laptop there, you just want to smash it. It's just like, oh. But yeah, the Ashes though, it's just like...
What a surprise there.
What?
What a surprise there. I would have thought England...
Surprise?
No, as in, genuinely would have thought England would have put up more a challenge than what they... like.
No fight whatsoever.
But then in saying that though, is it like I get because obviously I don't really watch Ashes per se when we're in England unless it is televised, or whatever. But I feel isn't it from what I was reading comments wise, which I know is not a very reliable source, but like we sort of play when it's not our home show, like we play shit. Is that true?
That's like, pretty much true for every country in the world. Yeah, no matter where you are, when you leave your conditions, you're at a massive disadvantage.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't know. I just wasn't excited at all that they like won the Ashes, despite beating England because they're flogs. But it's just like it's in your own home country. It's just like it's not
you got everything already sort of.
It's just like the Asian Cup.
Yeah,
like Australia won that. It's just like you were expected to win it, and even like at the World Cup for cricket, like they flogged every team. It's just like
I would have much preferred England to have won the third. Purely so that way everyone going Boxing Day, there's just all that hype where it's like...
Well, I think I saw something earlier today whereas this is the fourth time in the last 5 tours that you go to Boxing Day with the series already done, thus and nothing really to play for.
And especially considering that the boxing, like the very first day, isn't it sold out as well?
Yeah,
so like people are going there and it's like, well, fuck, we've already won. Like, whereas like at least if like England... Because like the first day of the Boxing Day, that's like the best. And the third, I feel. The third's always a pretty good day.
I've only been to the first. It was pretty good though. But
to the second day one, you got him for free.
Honestly, does anyone ever care about the cricket on Boxing Day?
I don't know. I feel like for me, I usually like wake up and I might do like my Boxing Day sales, and then it's sort of just there in the background for the rest of the day. And like I sort of just be like, oh, cricket's on. Watch a few overs, do what I want to do. Oh, cricket's still on. Cool, no worries.
Boxing Day sales. It's actually worth going.
Probably not. In all seriousness, probably not.
Most of it's online now as well.
Exactly.
Which kind of...
Well just defeats the purpose.
That's okay. Online shopping, no. Freaking hell, it's good stuff. But yeah, so not a big deal. But on to the footy now. Wrote down who do you reckon's going to win in 2018?
2018.
Predictions in December.
Early predictions, huh?
It's never too early for predictions.
You're not wrong there.
Well,
I don't really see much of the fixture because I reckon if you look at the fixture, that helps out quite a bit.
And I think it's hard to pick who's going to end up winning it all, but it's maybe a bit easier to predict whose stocks are going to rise and who's going to fall. So
okay, Wendy, I asked you a question, but just reflect.
I don't know. I reckon the big improvers next year are going to be Essendon and Port Adelaide.
I'm pretty sure I asked who's going to win.
I'm gonna sort of put my money on Port Adelaide because they did draft really well, but Port Adelaide to me, and it's been this way for probably the last 5 seasons, are that team that starts either really hot or cold, and like they're definitely going to be a top 8 side, hands down. I call, but I don't know. Them come finals is such a team where you're just not sure.
Well, maybe an easy question is like, so all the teams that are like kind of in that area, like group of like good teams, who you reckon can't win it? So like, you reckon Sydney, the Sydney teams?
No, I
feel like you still can't rule out Sydney just yet.
Yeah, they're just one of those teams that they're always up there. They've only missed the finals once in like 17 years.
Because even with their what was their record? Season was it like they lost like the first 6 or something like that, and then turn around it, and then I don't know. So I don't want to rule off Sydney. I can't see Tigers. Sorry for any Tigers supporter, which I'm sure there's a billion of who watch this podcast. If they go back to back, I'm legitimately going to be shocked.
Shocked. I'm gonna stop following the sport.
It's just because I
was tempted to do that when they won.
I don't because again I feel like it's been the 2 years of the underdog story, whatever you want to call it, because I feel even with Western Bulldog it was very shocking. I'm sure as a supporter, you go in and you're like fucking full of hope. But there's still that you're still oh crap, coming against a Sydney who's been there multiple times and all that, where you got your first people ever playing in a grand final.
Well, because that year, when we played that final series, it was an away trip to Perth, and you think, oh, geez, we'll be lucky to come away with a victory here. And then you go to the next one, okay, you're playing the 3-time reigning champions at home. And then up to, Western Sydney to play probably the big juggernaut team, and then to win it all,
Well, the team that probably should have already won one by now with all the money that's been flooded their way. But
surely Adelaide will be up there again.
You'd think so, but God, if they choke again...
Who have they... Oh, they lost... Charlie Cameron, Jake Lever.
Yeah.
Did they lose anyone else?
Oh, maybe a couple of delistings through times, but I don't think any other major
Nothing's
names.
crazy.
Yeah, I wonder how West Coast's going to go, because we gave up our number 1 pick.
Isn't Nui back from injury yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but I think apart from that, they did a big clean out, didn't they?
Pretty much.
Sort of got rid of a lot of
so the good old rebuild. Well, when I try to rebuild an AFL Evolution, I get fired. But Adam Simpson's fine.
Yeah,
AFL Evolution.
Did you buy that?
Yeah, I waited till it came out on PC, but I was pretty disappointed to be honest. I should have
on Steam. Did you buy?
Well, I know people. Yeah, because I know people who bought it on console because it came out like May and it didn't come out on PC till August or September. And I knew people from uni who they took it back the next day because they were just so unhappy with it.
It's always hard with an AFL game, because I feel the same sort of way where you try and you're like, oh my god, what have I just done? But then at the same time, I'm one of those, it's more so sports games, I suppose. It's always sort of it's like AFL season. It's I can't help but not play it. Even if it's only for an hour, it's still I'm glad that I have that there to just chuck in.
Yeah. And it's unrealistic to expect it to be, at the standard of a FIFA, where they pump
so
in
much money and
$200 million into development.
Not necessarily, because big ant studios, I'm pretty sure they make the Ashes games.
Yeah,
they made Ashes cricket, which came out a few weeks ago, and apparently that's really
good.
Yeah, because nice. To get around rights and licensing and that, so they just made the customization just ridiculous.
That's proof that an Australian company can make a good kind of sports game, but I guess they have a lot more audience. Imagine all the Indians just love that. I would love it.
Yeah, but when you sort of get the your audience to sort of make the content for you, that's a really clever way to sort of get around.
That's what more games need to do. I reckon.
Because some people out there are ridiculously talented when it comes to making logos, making players that actually look like the players.
It's kind of on Football Manager. Football Manager, they've only got so they've got I don't know, I'm gonna put out a number 100 leagues, and I think only 10 of those are licensed.
Yeah.
And then just people just make they just get logos off Wikipedia. They just do up the jerseys and stuff like that. But I reckon that, and especially Pez, that's the only reason they're still alive, purely because of that customization.
But all those people who they spend 2 hours trying to get that head to look just like the real person. They probably got a heap of photos. You got the front view, the side view, and that. It's just how you got the time to devote to that.
Yeah, true. I get what you're saying.
The people who download it don't care, like, because it's just right there in front of them, but they don't see the work that goes into it.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that, where especially for like FIFA and stuff. Like, I'll try and make a jersey for that, and it will just like I'll do it on Photoshop. I'll put it on the computer, and in game it's just like the tiniest little thing of noise, it's like and back to the drawing board. And I think I just hate that stuff. I don't even know how we got to that. We're talking about evolution, but that wasn't a bad game. You just had to like kind of adapt.
Yeah,
push through the pain.
Yeah. Well, I used to have the old AFL 06, 2006 on the PlayStation 2, and that was an absolute all-time classic.
That in 07, 05 I couldn't get into.
05 was tough.
06 was the only one I ever had, but that was enough to...
There was nothing better than 06. I was getting to the end of the season, and like you just, as someone who isn't, like if you acted as like a Collingwood Essendon, always trying to get you like a Chris Judd or like a Ben Cousins to come across, and you just be like, Steelers, come to me.
One thing I remember about that game is like when you get to the end of the season, I think it was like manager mode or something. You get like the list of retirements, and they come up with some like sort of like comedic, funny reasons.
Yeah,
it's like James Hird retired to start his own video game company or something like that.
Start his own video company, Diddy. Jeez, tell you
slash drug empire.
Tell you that much. I'm one of the best drug lords in Melbourne, I guess.
No, that's Stephen Dank.
Gee. Oh god.
No, I was about to say, so you actually, it's good you're on the podcast in the week that. Wait, when did Star Wars come out? Last week,
Wednesday.
14th, was it?
Yeah, it's been out for a week. I already hit 200 million in the box office the opening weekend I saw.
Yeah, no one cares about them.
But what else happened in Star Wars, Christian? What else happened in Episode 8?
I don't know why you said so sarcastically.
Just the internet just seems to be loving Episode 8 at the moment.
I'd say it's about half-half.
It's definitely split down the middle.
Which is interesting.
But every single time I go to that Star Wars page that we liked for Battlefront 2, the amount of you miss it.
No, I missed that old page.
Oh, God, because I was going to say right now, it is just an absolute, like,
shit.
If I can say it, cancer. Like, it is so... God, it's signed the petition. Why we all hate Episode 8? Why should it be canon?
Yeah,
have
it
struck. They are ripping into Episode 8 like there's no tomorrow.
What are you talking about? Not that page. That page doesn't.
The Star Wars Hub?
Yeah, that's like the most Last Jedi page I've seen in my life.
It's like hating. Like, there's so many, like,
the comments do.
Yeah, like, there's so many
actual
comments.
Posts are, like, way too positive for it.
I think the thing that hit me the hardest with Episode 8 is that video that Ando shared of, just like, how, like, Luke Skywalker, well, Mark Hamill, how he's just like saying how he's like, I just can't believe like that's what they wanted to do with my character and all that. Like it doesn't make any sense to me because it's like crap. If there's something about Mark Hamill, like obviously like rip
Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, thanks for that, Wendy. Like you know, I just want to know maybe what her thoughts as well were. Like, was it like, oh god, like what are they like?
I just had a thought then. Like, imagine if like Disney made like all the episodes like so far. Imagine, like, would people still, like, be obsessed with Star Wars as much as they are, like, now? So, do you know what I'm getting? Okay.
I think I get what you mean.
So, like, so imagine, like, George, like, so, like, they kind of, so imagine, like, Episode 1, they came out, like, from 2010 to, like, 2020, like, all the episodes came out then, with that, like, kind of Disney.
With, like, the original ones were never made in the 70s.
They were made. So they, like...
So it was always Disney.
Every episode had, like, the Disney humour and stuff like that. Like, would people still be obsessed with Star Wars? The kind of, like, the way
they are. That's a hard question to say, though, because, like, I feel like...
Probably not.
The original...
But there would be people... I guess you could probably counter that saying, like, would people be mad at The Force Awakens? But, I don't know.
They'd probably see it as just that annoying movie that comes out every single year.
Yeah, kind of like Transformers.
Yeah.
Michael Bay, what a man.
Yeah.
But, no, I don't know.
Transformers isn't that bad.
Episode 8, like, it's sort of what, like, I've said, like, there's parts of the movie that I quite enjoy, but there's other things where it's just, why?
Yeah, like, some whole parts of the movie just seem, like, unnecessary.
Like,
it's like, if they took them out... Would it be a worse movie? Probably not.
Like, I'm gonna just
like the whole casino scene.
Why?
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm going to just die. If you haven't already seen Star Wars, I'm going to apologise because I dare say there's already spoilers that
I was going to ask, are we going full spoiler or not?
I'd probably just do spoiler in the caption.
I don't... Why? Why do you introduce a supreme leader, Snoke, making him the big bad, like I can see everyone's vision and all. He clearly says, even before what happened to him, I can see Kylo's future and all that. How the fuck do you not see the lightsaber, like, and all that, to then die, and then he's gone? You're meant to be this big, you just fucking, like, flicked right across the room. You use force lightning and everything, and he just dies. Like, there's no tomorrow. And then Kylo isn't even, like, full evil. He's still like, oh, I killed my dad. And it's like, dude, you're meant to be evil. Like, you're meant to be, like, the guy. Like, you're meant to just hate everything and like, why? And he's still like, I don't know, like, do I want to be a Sith?
Well, I was watching...
Like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah, I was watching a video, the Ando link the other day with that Angry Joe guy.
Oh, yeah, I saw that,
and he brings up a good point about, like a lot of the...
We had a lot of points about that movie.
Yeah. There were a lot of good points, but, like, the one interesting one was, like, you can't have it, like, both ways. So, like, in the movie, like, I don't know, just for example, like Rey, she's got a bit of dark side in her, but then she's got a bit of light, so does Luke, and it's just like, and I don't know, stuff like that, it's just like, they should just go like one bad evil. I know, like,
because that was kind of interesting, because like I went and saw the movie a couple of days ago, and like I just watch the movies, I don't really watch any of the extra stuff or any of that, and I was convinced throughout the whole movie that Rey was going to go bad, because I thought like that would have been
that would have been such a cool twist.
Yeah, and that would have been a bold move by like the writers.
Would have been a bold move, but like it would have been kind of cool. Like so, with everything else that happened in that movie as well.
I watched a video that said it would have been so good if like her and Kylo Ren kind of like joined forces, and that would have been something we hadn't seen before, like on the movie. But we've seen Rebels versus the Empire quotation or First Order quotation mark.
And then as well, it's like you introduced Captain Phasma, which again I agree so much with the Ando, legit just made for toys. There's no point. In episode 7 didn't really do much. Episode 8 still again doesn't really do much, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, see the eye. Everyone's like, oh my god, it's the eye, and then dead.
Yeah.
Like,
well, apparently she might not be dead.
If she survives that, I swear to God.
Yeah, but that's the shit. Like, you don't want to be like.
Don't introduce characters and make them like this, like. Portray them as like, ooh, and then just kill them.
Well, that's the thing, like, they should be definite with the things they do in the movie. So, like, that's the best example I can think of right now. It's just like, so we're going to spend the next 2 years guessing, like, is Phasma still alive? Whereas we could have been doing something like, will Rey turn back to the light side, or will Kylo turn dark again?
It was in that same video you said where, it seemed like in The Force Awakens they were trying to set up a lot of things, and in Last Jedi they just sort of ignored all the setup.
But then as well,
I actually like The Force Awakens more because of The Last Jedi, which is kind of because I hated The Force Awakens.
But then, like, as well, like, the whole scene with Princess Leia fucking... coming,
Superman.
God, that pisses that... And even when we're in the cinema, I just remember, like, watching it and being like, what the actual...
Yeah, I turned to Brandon and said, like, I think I said something.
I don't...
Yeah, because,
why?
Well, my brother went and saw it at the midnight premiere as well, and he said, he said, before you go and see it, he said, there'll be one scene that makes you just... you know, put your head in your hands and say, what the hell was going on there? He said, don't go looking for it. You'll know it when you see it.
Was that it?
And it was that. That was it.
Yeah, just straight away though, because I swear the whole cinema, man, like, I'm not even kidding, was sort of like, what the actual fuck?
Well, I mean, immediately before that, you would have been like, okay, they just killed her off.
Well, that's what I was sort of like, oh yeah, I was sort of expecting it because...
I wasn't expecting her to live.
Yeah, either. Yeah. So that shocked me. Like, that's a huge...
Well, like, there were surprises in the movie, like, that's for sure, but, like, they weren't, like... They were like, oh, okay. That happened.
It's even like the end...
There wasn't like, oh my god.
And now, like, it's obviously how, like, Kylo and all that is sort of like, yeah, Rey, your parents are nobodies and all that. It's like, well, technically, does that mean, like, anyone can sort of tap into the Force? Because, like, it's almost like, it's like, well, you're not really special. Like, you have the Force in you, and now, like, you sort of, like, know how to persuade, control it. And stuff. Because, like, obviously, at the end of the movie, you see the little kid with the broom Force, like, bring it towards him. So it's like, well, what's the go there?
Well, I noticed that when at the end there, but I wasn't sure if that was like it was actually like him using the Force, or if it was like, you know, some sort of, you know, space broom that just, you know,
that's what
to his hand or something.
I wasn't 100% either.
Because I saw it, I'm like, wait, is that oh, you know, he might have, you know,
because then as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh god, it's gonna be Anakin like prequels like all over.
Yeah, that kid's got a name.
Really?
Yeah, like they named that kid. I'll try.
Well, so if he's got a name, then obviously he's gonna play it. Like you don't just name you don't just go like.
He's gonna be really busy in the next year or so of filming.
That's what I was saying to Brandon there. Ben Tom, sorry. Like in 5 years' time, that's what better happen. Like we better see like a time skip of like Rey's become like a kind of a powerful. Who cares how she gets it? I don't care. But she's become a powerful Jedi, and she's found those kids, and they're like teenagers now. And like there's a freaking like a little group of Jedi. That'd be sick.
That's the one thing after like speaking to you, Zanzi, when you were saying you're like, oh really, I don't understand. Like we never ever get to see like the school of like the Jedi and like all. I think that would be such a cool interpretation in a movie to actually see it like for once. Like it's not just a handful of like good guys left. Like there's actually like a whole like civilization of like the Republic and like the Jedi and stuff. And like I don't know, it'd just be cool. Like now after seeing episode 8, like I've sort of been watching like a few more videos and all that, like of more I suppose old Republic like oh god, I can't even now. It's gonna piss me off. Darth Revan, and all that. Like it's like God, if they made movies about that, like that'd be so sick. How like he's like light, like Jedi turn, like it's just like so like that. Oh,
they had like
so
a
cool
whole like
to dive into that.
Yeah, because like I remember playing Knights of the Republic and that twist. Like I had to like
and like Darth Malak and stuff. Like it's just sick.
It's like, yeah, they got like a whole. Like a billion stories to choose from. What they went with was pretty average. That's why I'm hoping like episodes 10, 11, 12, like they do just go completely different.
Fingers crossed.
Because at least then it kind of like matches the theme of the universe.
But I was still happy with like all the space scenes in it. Like I quite enjoyed that because like it's funny that you linked that the intro is to episode 3 because like I remember as a kid seeing that like intro like I must have seen episode 3 at least 7 times. And every single time I always done it, just with that space battle, I was like, oh, I'm so keen. It's like it's like obviously over the top CGI, but like
I'm gonna watch
so
that keen. Still just to pipe me up for the game. But yeah, that kid's name, I don't know if it's right pronunciation, but it's Tamiri Glag.
Okay.
Like the most Star Wars name. Oh god.
Wasn't that like? Isn't that kid who said in episode 3 to Anakin like? Whatever, like that, like the little youngling, he has a name.
Yeah.
As well, and I was like, that's so weird that you gave that a name, because then like...
That's what I hate about, like,
so many rumours, it's like, he comes back.
They just use that for Star Wars trivia contests around the world.
I was watching like some Snoke...
It's like the $1 million question.
Yeah. I was watching some like Snoke video, and one of the theories was like, it was like that kid, and like the scars on his face was like from where Anakin, like, and I was like, sure you were taking me utter piss. I don't know, it would have been cool had it like Snoke being like a Darth Plagueis or something like that.
Yeah,
like, obviously,
that's what they should have gone.
Because like obviously you hear Palpatine say that in the thing, how it's like like the only problem is he trusted his like apprentice like too well, and then like killed him in his sleep. It's like, well, that would have been such a cool like nod to that.
Yeah, but nothing we can do about it now. Let's just hope J.J. Abrams
comes back.
He is coming back. Like
delivers the goods.
Help us, JJ. You're our only hope.
Whoa.
Well,
she's out too.
It's literally. Well, it's just like I wonder what it would have been like if J.J. Abrams stayed around for episode 8.
Was there any particular reason why you didn't do 8, or he was busy doing something else, or?
I haven't dived into that part yet myself. I've actually
probably doing something else, but he should have come back. It's just like that's what I kind of hate about Harry Potter movies. I kind of wish like you start with like the first 2 movies, like they're nice and colourful, like everything's cheerful, and then as they change directors, they go like darker, and they get freaking really dark in the last 3. This is like I kind of wish they had like just a set tone.
Yeah, but I think with that series, a lot more people are more happy. So like they reckon it's sort of closer to the original material. Like not many people complain that it was like this in the book and like not like that in the movie.
I feel like there's only a few bits and pieces with all the Harry Potter fans where
and the stuff that is different
included
doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's not like game changing.
It's not like bad. Like it's not like Force Awakens and like Last Jedi. Like they do a good job. Like they're all enjoyable. But I kind of wish they had like that one. That's what kind of annoys me about them. That's the only really thing that annoys me. Just like that set tone. And Ginny Weasley, I hate Ginny Weasley.
I don't know. I'm glad that it's out and stuff. I hope that episode 9's cool. I don't know if I overly care about the Han Solo spin-off movie. Yeah. Like I just.
Well, in the Angry Joe thing, they said like obviously it's going to be inevitable that Rey and Kylo Ren fight, and it's just like they all said like they just don't care.
Yeah.
And when that makes sense. Like I don't care about Rey or Kylo Ren. I only care about
I feel that's probably.
Poe,
I was gonna say.
The
I feel
A-wing pilot that died.
Yeah,
rest in peace.
I feel like the A-wing. Yeah, like outside of like, I don't really care all that much for like Rey. Kylo doesn't seem evil enough for me to be like, oh, cool, and all that. And I don't. There's something about a Sith with long hair. I don't know what, but I just like. I don't know why. But I'm just like. Oh.
Looks cool.
But he's just like. Even like he's like looking at the thing where he could have just killed his mum, and he's like, oh no. It's like, dude, like. You can't just kill your dad and then be like, oh, I better keep mum alive. Like,
and not only that, but kill his dad up close and personal.
Yeah,
he's a little
like,
bitch.
Oh. And then he just like has a tantrum how he smashes his helmet and all that as well. Because it's like, oh, you're not even that dumb. He's like, oh, I'm
Was it take that ridiculous thing off your head?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hated that. But, that's probably enough Star Wars. Actually. We all know with the Star Wars. But freaking hell, interesting topic was like the future. Like, where do you see yourself in 10 years, Mr. Wynd?
That's a good question.
We'll see in 10 to 20 years.
That's a good question. Well, hopefully somewhere in the media industry, hopefully nice and stable there.
No exact position.
Probably something in maybe like video, audio, content production for like a league or a team or something like that. Because obviously, the internet becoming such a vital part of clubs and that. They'll make their own video, they produce their own podcast, they write their own articles. Or someone's got to do it for them. Yeah. So hopefully in the future find myself doing something like that.
Write our articles up.
Yeah, a bit of media work. Yeah, a bit of freelancing.
As long as it doesn't become a genre for a Mark Robinson, it's all happy days, mate.
What about yourself, then?
About myself, 10 years. I don't know. Fingers crossed out of the supermarket industry by then. Hopefully long gone then.
It's too late, Lee.
But
it's infected you.
No, I don't know. Like I sort of like a little bit like I've always been interested in sports. So like it'd be cool as to like almost like it'd be crazy, but like it'd be cool to like dive into like the sport industry. And I don't know, even maybe like a sports management like sort of position or something like that, or like I don't know, something to do with like that, like a fest, like I don't know, music, like stage wise, like stage production, like
screw that.
Stuff
yeah,
like that.
And the stuff around sports, it's like it's one of the few things where it's like there are more and more jobs that like sprouting up.
Exactly, and even like with AFL W like coming up, like and all that, like there's the thing like you can start a job like in the AFL W and you could land up at a like.
And
like,
plus
it's a long road, but
plus I reckon in the next 5 years is going to be a huge boom in esports. That's going to be
esports is going to take off.
Yeah, I mean it's probably already taken off in other parts of the world, but here in Australia it's slowly starting to. I think Essendon and Adelaide football clubs have both sort of made their first dip in the water with that kind of area.
Really? Poor Essendon don't get the AFLW license, but they still have all the women in their promotions.
Well, they've got an esports team now, so
good on us.
The
esports.
I saw that the other day. Like I saw a picture of like Dyson Heppel, John Worsfold, and some random chicks. It's like you don't even have an AFLW.
It's no the thing. So that's funny. While we're currently just on there, how that North Melbourne have an AFLW team.
Yeah, I think
Gold Coast have an AFLW. Essendon. How North Melbourne's like the.
I think the way North Melbourne's bid got over the line is that their one focuses almost exclusively on Tasmania because they play their games there, and there's no team down there for them to go.
Like, that is going to be the most. That is going to be the most fucked up club. The AFL, like surely AFL, like now looking at it, like we fucked up.
Well, they need them to start winning and start winning now.
Like, well, they just lost Gary Ablett as well. Like.
It's going to be interesting to see how, especially with the AFLW, how they spread. Oh, especially probably at W League as well. How they spread the talent pool around. Because obviously, I don't want to sound mean, but like in like the women's games I've watched of like not necessarily W League, but like you see like local girls teams play, and like a lot of them are big and like unfit. But it's just like, is there that much talent of support?
Well, it's like with the AFL W. A lot of the, I mean, you've got the superstar, the marquee players, and then some of the others, returning to footy from other sports.
Yeah.
And probably once, because they just had the first, they just had the draft recently, with a lot of players sort of coming through for the junior ranks. And so probably in like 5 years, say today, you're,
today would be
say you're like 12 or 13, you're starting to see, women's sport, really become big. And sort of you got that time to really develop and get to that high level, whereas that didn't really exist before.
Yeah.
And so, like the talent will really get a lot better.
I agree with that.
In a few years to come.
It's going to be interesting because I know a few girls that like used to play footy and then they came like to soccer or back to soccer or something like that. Like, because a lot of the girls, like, they see, the AFL W players on TV and stuff, and then they actually play the game. It's just like, shit, it's really rough.
Yeah. Well, it's like, there's back in my uni, one of the first or second year uni students, she was drafted in the AFL W draft. She knocked back a college basketball like scholarship or something like that to play AFLW. Like she was playing like in the VFL Women's, and but yeah, it's sort of like that link between different sports, and I guess it sort of allows them to do that really. Because it's like they used to do that back in like the old days, like the 60s, 70s. There used to be people who like men who played AFL and Test cricket.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's no way they can do that anymore. Like the amount of time they have to dedicate.
Yeah. It's kind of it would be cool to see some players.
Well,
play
there are current AFL women's players who are playing in the Women's Big Bash.
Yeah.
So like they're really, because sort of like since the season's pretty separate, they're able to sort of split their time between the two.
Because like Elise Perry used to play for the Matildas.
Yeah, where's she playing when she was like 16?
Yeah, that's like a lot of like the. It's interesting. I don't know if it's like a women's, like only. I don't know what the other countries are like, but it's weird seeing like the Matildas. They've got like most of their players are like kind of that low 20s, and they've got like so much experience, like so many caps on them. It's like by the time they reach like 2019 World Cup, like they're all going to be like, what is it? They're going to be like mid-20s, and
like mature life experience.
Like you don't see that, and that's what's.
And the male is usually the older.
Yeah. And obviously, as it continues to grow, they'll be playing more and more games per year. So.
Yeah, it's the other side of 20 that you see in a lot of like, cricket is usually like, it's pretty rare to see like people like below the age of like that sort of 20, 23, I think. Usually in the test side, like usually they're like that 25,
you have to
middle 20s.
Prove yourself consistently over a few years
in
before
like
you get it.
Country and whatnot. And even like with like the Australian soccer team, like a lot of them are sort of like that mid 20s as well, like sort of like around that 22, 24.
Yeah, but none of them none of them get, especially for like the men. You barely see 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds on the team. Like I know they've got like
they're like on the list, but like
Oh, not even on the list.
No, not even.
Like,
okay.
You got all these. I'm sure there's like a good 18-year-old out there that can. That's what they did with Tim Cahill and Q. I'm pretty sure they brought him up when they were 19.
Even with like the A League and that, sort of the pathway for younger players to come through. Like I know
think that's an issue. I think it's one of the issues in A League.
Like I know a guy who's he's a keeper in the NPL, and he's good enough and old enough to play in an A League team, but because there's only so many spots, and especially as a goalkeeper, there's only one of those per team really. So
there's no like definitive path.
Yeah,
which is why I'm really jealous of like the sports system in the US. Mm-hmm. So like I don't know how it goes before high school, but it's not necessarily this easy. But like you got high school, college, and then pros. Yeah, it's like. That's nice and simple. Something to like kind of aim towards in your head. As an A League player, or like a young kid, it's just like how do I get the victory? Play in a club.
Yeah, you do your time in the NPL until you're like 24, and then till you get your chance.
But that's probably never going to happen in Australia like that. US kind because no one takes high school sports seriously, and neither do they take university sports.
And it's like with the AFL, like to get to the AFL, it's pretty clear like how you're going to get there.
Yeah, exactly. Like AFL's got a good little pathway, but I think that's one of the issues. Like a lot of the like the clubs, like they don't know. Oh, I don't know if they don't know, but they just don't have that pathway for players. Like they've got their youth teams and stuff.
Yeah.
But how do you get to the youth team? No one knows.
Yeah, unclear.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, back to the future. You like that one? Yeah, so 10 years of sports management.
Yeah, something like that I think would be a cool pathway to dive into.
Any kids involved in that?
What's
in that 10 years?
32. Oh,
that's about time.
I know, probably. I feel like later 20s to that 30s probably where I would... because there's still shit that I want to do. Like, I'd love to travel and stuff still. You know, I don't want to do that with a little kid because that shit's expensive. Like, straight up expensive.
Shut him in the suitcase.
And they just cry all the time. Like, no offense, but like, I can't be fucked dealing with that on a plane. Like, I just can't. Like, it shits me as it is now. I don't want to be like, oh no, now it's my kid that's crying. It's like, I don't want that.
Even like little kids, like 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, like for coaching, what I have to do, like, the tested patience, especially when they don't listen.
Well, because you're just like, no, that's it.
Freaking,
You just like, I feel like me as well. Like, I'd be the type of person who like would go up to the parent and be like, look, your kid's just fucked. Like, straight up, just annoying the shit out of me. Like, just leave. Like, just leave. But usually, like, that's a parent. Usually that's a parent as well who's always like, oh, do you need any help? Like, I'm happy to cut up the oranges. Like, and all that. And you're like, well, we kind of need that. So.
Yeah. I much prefer freaking older. It's so much easier to like kind of work with.
That's a fair call.
It's so much better. Especially I think I've got myself not necessarily in a hole, but God, it would be so much easier to coach like a guys under 18 team, for example, than a girls. Not necessarily saying the girls are worse to coach, but it would be so much easier.
I feel like I can't really speak because I haven't been a coach, but I feel like, say, because obviously, like, as a male and all that, like, a lot of the time, like, when like you're trying to amp up your team, like, you sort of yell at them and all that, and usually, like, that sort of effect, like, although sometimes can be a bit like, oh, crap, like, that's a bit for. Usually, like, I feel like as a male, you're sort of like, oh, right, like, come on, let's do. But I feel like sometimes with a girl, like, maybe like, why is he so mad at me, sort of thing, and it's like, I'm just trying to like amp you up, like. And all that, like, maybe I'm wrong, like, don't mean to offend or like come across as like.
You offended me, dude.
So, but I don't know.
No, I agree. Like,
again, I can't speak because I've never actually coached a girl's side, so.
But yeah, I think that's just the case because like that's probably why my team's lucky to have me.
Sort of like laid back, like a bit mellow.
But yeah, because like I usually coach how I want to be coached. And that's
yeah, sort of like have that perspective.
I don't want to douchebags and coaching yells at me and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, going through, I'm sure, junior sports as well, you like might have had a few coaches who you just like, God, you're just an absolute wank, like, sort of thing. And it's like, I don't want to be like that to someone.
That's what, but then you kind of...
You just need that, like, sort of like
a
line.
Place,
yeah.
Which is kind of what I struggle to find, like, when I coach. Like, I can't usually, like, hopefully next year I'll be a bit better and I'll work on it, but, like...
Even that's like me at work,
though. Just in life in general. Like sometimes it's like, especially coaching. Like I was just like far too kind of laid back.
Yeah. That's how I sometimes feel at work though, because like it's hard to draw that line because you're like it's like I don't want people to hate me, but at the same time it's like I need shit done. Like,
I think most coaches or that sort of role, it's sort of the feeling that if you put in 100%, that's fine, but like if you actively you don't fulfill your role, you avoid your responsibility. That's when I'm going to come down hard on you.
Yeah, no, that's a fair call. I agree with that.
So if you got a team that they put in 100% and they they still keep losing, that's fine because they're actually taking those steps to be better. Yeah,
my team pretty much. Oh god,
is that how you feel out there when futsal comes around? It's just trying our hardest, still not getting the results at times.
Yeah, it's
very quickly while we're on the topic of futsal, I just want to definitely give a massive F you to Broadway. The kid always says defend. Can't help but sneak up forward, and it's always whenever I keep. always whenever I keep, he's always like, oh, people need to drop back. And then he's always the first person when like that goal gets scored against. He's always the one who's like looking at the other end. And it's like, dude, like, come on. I don't expect like everyone to stay back all the time. Like, fuck, like I don't want to stay back the whole time when we play either. But like, god damn.
I'm still waiting for Jimmy to take Windy under his wing. Like in the...
Well, he's already got me. He's like he's sort of like
an apprentice.
He's like the traffic cop out there. Like he's at the back, and I'm just wandering around wherever. And he's sort of like directing traffic where to go. So go to the left, watch to the left. Watch out behind you.
He's very sensitive, James. You know that.
Oh,
he's gonna hate you.
That's alright. If he doesn't already, he should now.
I actively believe that most games he just gets sick and tired of my efforts out there. He's just like, yep, here you go, goalkeeper.
Yeah, pretty
Get
much.
out of the way.
Also, happy birthday to Jimmy as well, if he's
yesterday.
watching this. But,
he's 21-year-old. Like, I saw him on Monday, and I said to him, like, you don't look 21. Like, you're 21, aren't you?
Yes.
Like, yeah, you don't look 21 either. I don't know. I don't feel like I look 21 either. Like you do, Lee, because of the like.
No, unfortunately, probably look older than.
Yeah.
21 because of the older.
That reminds me of a funny thing that happened to me back at Lurda High School. So obviously, when the VC comes around, you get the blue shirts. Yeah. You take that rite of passage. You're able to wear that colour. So when I went to go get the uniforms, the blue shirts ready for year 11. Went to the uniform shop. Got them purchased and that. And the lady looks at me and she's like, "Oh, so you starting high school this year?" I'm like, "No, I'm the year 11. These are for me." Obviously, because starting VC, that would have been beginning of 2012. So
yeah, something like that.
So I'd have been 15.
Yeah.
Like when I was 15, I looked like 12.
Yeah, I remember when I went up to Sydney for the grand final this year.
Yeah.
And we went to some bar after the devastating loss, penalty shootouts, goddamn Sydney, and yeah, like my brother-in-law went in, his dad went in, and then I went to go in, and then the bouncers stopped me and was like, "Can I see an ID?" I'm just like, "Thank you, dude." It was 20. I turned 22 in March, and he said that in May. I was like, yes.
Well, it's like people still ask me what high school I go to.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'll go to Crown, like when I do go to Crown, and it's always like waves me through. I'll be with Kirky, who mind you is like
he looks pretty young.
Yeah, 3 like.
Is he like 24 or 3?
24, so yeah, 2 years older than myself. He'll always get asked, and he's like, "Dude, I'm 24."
Well, I'm
and he'll be
surprised
like,
he said
okay.
it because I had no
Yeah,
idea
didn't
how
I?
old he is.
Ah.
I assumed he was about the same age as you
No,
guys.
He looks young.
Yeah, he's got a few years under his belt there.
Don't want to shoot any shots. So we'll just move on from that topic. But what were we talking about just before we
went on,
age?
talked about Broadway.
Oh, we're talking about futsal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be good tonight. I don't know. What do you think of the futsal place? I doubt any of them are listening.
God, and if they are, God, you guys
they are. I don't honestly care.
If they are, you guys are so money hungry. Like legit.
Yeah.
Like, don't mean to be so Jewish. Loves
Don't
the
mean to offend anyone.
loves the coin.
Lee, come on, you can't.
Loves
Dude,
the
this is
coin.
the internet.
Yeah,
You're
that's
not allowed to make those jokes.
Oh, man, I've probably already offended a billion people by now. Like, if you made it this far in the podcast and you haven't been offended yet, then...
I don't think anyone's made it this far into the podcast to listen. So, well, Wendy's here, so.
Hey, I like to support podcasts. They're great. They're a great medium.
Alright, so we don't need your charity.
You're sucking right up.
Just supporting him.
We've got other guests, so. That's a lot. We couldn't have.
Well, how many views are you getting per podcast at the moment?
We're
so far?
We got 6.
Doing alright. 6 subscribers too.
Yeah, I don't know whether. So we've got you, we've got Siege, we've got myself. Did you subscribe, Lee?
I haven't
So
yet, so I do need to. Yeah. And about what? I think it's like averaging about 66, which is pretty good.
Well, whoever you mystery subscribers are out there,
like
good
2
job.
likes.
Yeah, good job.
Usually like 2 likes as well. No comments on the Endo episode though.
There wasn't comments on. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was me and
was.
Siege. Yeah, we don't need comments.
But no, I don't know, it's a bit of fun though. Like I'm enjoying it. So.
Third person podcast talking. But we went on topic again. We're talking about futsal.
Yeah, the place.
We've got time. We've got about 10 minutes. But
10 mins, fuck. No,
yeah,
that's
I
I
really
get ready.
I really
Full
missed
of
7
fun.
aside.
7 aside was good.
That was awesome because it only cost about 40-ish bucks. Again, we played 2 games with 30 minutes each.
That's very true.
I don't know.
7 was that the outdoor one?
Yeah.
No, I never played that. No, because that was before I had a license, so I couldn't get to games.
Because I know you
I really wanted to, but I just couldn't get to.
You.
Yeah, I just had no way of realistically getting to a game and getting back home.
That was good. 7-aside. I miss that so much.
That was good fun.
Yeah.
And just like I'll always remember that game that we played against like Eddie and I think like Billy, like them lads, and just like dude, that got pretty full. Like
that was probably the most heated game I've ever played.
It was the most anticipated game though too. Like that was like
I still maintain that the best soccer games ever played were the Year 12 versus Year 11 showdowns.
But I still remember I still remember like pretending to coach that. Like,
the photo something.
Yeah, there is.
But
yeah,
it's funny like that. Like the year when like you, me, and like Mundy and stuff, and Mundy scored that cracker equaliser. Which was amazing. Probably.
I don't remember much in particular. The one thing I remember clearly is like one time I jumped. I was like defending and like someone had a shot and I just took like was going in straight to the face, kept it out, and it was like one of those. I don't know. It was like someone brought like their own ball from home or something, but it was a real like weighty ball, and it like really
was
like
it yellow.
I can't remember. Probably because I got a concussion from that. Maybe that's why I can't remember anything. But
good times in year 11 and 12 though. Like
especially the soccer and stuff.
Playing like futsal or whatever. I think not futsal. Sorry, I think we remember playing like Gaelic one lunch, and it was like sort of like Eddie, Mason, like all them like take like Big Will, Josh Johnson, Nick. I still remember when like Luke like tackled Josh Johnson, and he was like that close to that tree stump when he got dropped. And I just remember Josh Johnson like had that like look in his eyes where it's like, I'm gonna fuck you. And just everyone being like, Luke, you nearly killed Josh Johnson. Like, what the fuck, man? And Luke's like, I just wanted the ball. So I didn't know like we were that close to a stump.
Most of the games I remember the ones on that like those basketball courts. But then there was like a brief period where we moved to that weird bit of grass near the train line, and it's like she got
heated there.
You got to keep your shots down there, otherwise you're never getting it back.
When we used to play at like lunchtime. We played those games, and then I think 7-aside came after that when we versed them. So that's like when we had like history with them, and like there was a lot of banter, like serious banter. Those like a week before
throughout the day.
Didn't we only ever play them once too?
Yeah, like
because
they didn't rock up the next time.
But then like the guy, that Les guy as well, was like, you guys all, everyone needs to calm down.
We were banned from playing them for like
I
think like for the rest of the year. And then when we came back after the Christmas break, they didn't rock up again. But that was a tough game because it was 1-0 because Mason scored his left.
It's like all the great rivals of the world, North London Derby, Manchester Derby, Old Firm Derby, and then that.
Yeah, year 11 versus year 12.
That's soon as well, the El Clasico, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's this Sunday or something like that. Shit. Yeah, I still remember Monday. I remember it so clearly in my head. Just as we were down, I think it was 3-2. And Monday, just as not the siren, what's the bell?
The bell.
Yeah.
And the bell rang. Like, just as it rang, he got the ball off his foot, and it went full. It was a rocket.
I think I might remember that.
It was a rocket. Like, I looked at Monday like, did you? Ow.
And he's like, yeah, I meant that.
It defies the laws of physics, that ball.
Well, if anyone could do that, it'd be Monday.
Oh, yeah. Just like FIFA 15 Monday. Like, saves everything. He scores everything. He's come so close to scoring in futsal the last few games he's played. And it makes me sad every time it comes across the line and it's just like, it's in. And it's like, I'm ready to celebrate. Oh, God. Futsal. How do you reckon we'll go tonight?
Oh, we're up against that team in grey, aren't we? Yeah.
All
I remember about that team is like big bodies, so like they're quite strong around the midfield.
It was 7-4 last time,
but this time
7-1 at one stage.
If you got Broadway keeping tonight with it, and like I'm not. If he does his tactic where he throws it down, doesn't try to take on like a billion people, I think we're a sweep. But if he tries to do too many
if Broadway concedes a goal tonight, he's not coming back to Avengers next year. Sorry, James.
Contract torn up.
But
we'll take me positive, but we don't want James anymore. We have to make room for them.
Feeling pretty positive. If Straussi's on, then fuck, GG.
Yeah, I'll probably score my 2-3 goals. I think I've eclipsed 30 goals for this season. Just busted this season.
I'm still waiting to break the dog. I've had
Got
awful.
2.
I'm certain I've not scored a goal this season.
Lee's got about...
I've scored
So,
2,
because-
claiming, but 3 if you include that own
But
goal.
the funny thing is,
Which I'm definitely claiming.
on Friday nights, play like a more social league at Yarra Junction. They just started that up, and like most of the people that never played before, last week was playing, scored 8 goals and a half.
You did?
Yes.
Where's that for us?
I know. I'm always thinking that
In
myself.
hiding.
I'm always like, I'm sitting there like after I put in my 8, I'm like, what am I doing different here than what I do on Thursday nights? Like, you know, is it a mental approach? Is it, you know, where I'm running? Is it just the fact that I'm playing against people who've barely played before?
Yeah, probably.
Probably that.
Probably the latter. But yeah, hopefully we'll go alright.
Well, I'll take one Avengers SC goal for the season.
try and get
I'll try to get that first
try and
one,
get it
and
to
then
them.
after that, we'll just see what happens.
Try and get it to
So the first couple of seasons we played, you know, scored like, you know, 2
You
or
did
3
score a
per
few.
season. Yeah.
But yeah, Lee's... Did you say you scored 3?
2 this season so far, 3.
Including
If I-
that other sweaty goal a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
You're
if
claiming that. That's about a half a goal.
The closest
So you've scored
opportunity,
1.5
the
goals.
closest
No, I've scored
opportunity
2.
I had was
One
when
and a half.
Scored
Just
definitely
1.5.
2. I've definitely scored 2.
it was
so
like this-
2.5.
it was like the second game I played or something was like I came in from like someone
You
had a
get
shot
close
and
with
it came
your
off
headers.
crossbar, but like I like ran from the midfield, ran in full pelt, and like sort of just jumped in header straight at it, and so it's like
yeah.
goalkeepers.
Do you remember
But you
that?
finished
It was
that
so-
off, didn't you?
No, I don't think so.
I swear, that's what I'm saying. Like, that was this season, right? I swear, I remember that header, and then you finished it off, like, at the rebound. So
Yeah, I
I'm pretty
don't-
sure you scored.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I feel like
I'm
got at
quite
least
sure if I
one.
would have
You
scored a
have,
goal, I would have remembered it.
Yeah,
but-
we're running out of time, so
Unfortunately.
you're going to wish our subscribers,
So-
6 subscribers, happy Christmas.
6, yeah, so to those who have subscribed, as Sansi did say, Merry Christmas. It's the last
No one else.
It's the last podcast before Christmas.
You
so
haven't subscribed, we don't care
think-
about you. We've got one
I was
more.
going to say, I'm pretty sure
Next
there is.
Thursday.
So, one more next Thursday.
Al Roberto, Aaron Robinson.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Jeez.
Oh, we've actually got...
So, yes.
And
Alright.
Too many guests.
So, one more before the 2K18. And, yeah.
See, that silence just...
So that was a motorbike, that's why. But no, thanks to all those who have subscribed and been listening to GIMP so far. Very keen to see what the new year holds.
We're steaming
dare
ahead.
say.
3 episodes in.
3 episodes in, we've done well. So yeah, to all those who have got this far or been listening, and yeah, I suppose thank you very much. Merry Christmas from myself, Sansi, and special guest Wyndy. Thanks again for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
And
Where's my dog?
and us, yeah, well, I suppose, well, Abby hasn't joined us this
Yeah.
time, which was a little bit different, if I dare say.
My cat attacked her last night, so
Okay, fair enough.
she's traumatized.
Understandable. But yeah, anyways, guys, thank you for
How
tuning
do
in
you
to
get-
this
how do you
week,
get
and
this?
until next time, we'll speak to you then. Enjoy.